I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of South Africa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, we mark the third anniversary of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The failure to resolve this conflict and its outbreak is a stark indictment of the commitment to the central tenet of this organization, which is the peaceful resolution of conflict. South Africa continues to call for the urgent cessation of the Russia-Ukraine conflict in order to prevent the further loss of life and the destruction of Ukraine's infrastructure. Every effort must be made to de-escalate the conflict. South Africa remains firmly committed to the need for a peaceful and negotiated resolution of the conflict within a rules-based system centered on international law, including the respect for human rights and the principles of the UN Charter. The sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states remain inviolable. In this light, South Africa supports all efforts to bring the conflict to an end and welcomes all efforts to bring about negotiations. We remain steadfast in our commitment to peaceful resolution of the conflict through a negotiated settlement, with all parties to the conflict having a seat at the table. We have always maintained that a commitment to inclusivity is key to deliver the buy-in of all parties to the conflict and to provide acceptable solutions to the parties. The importance of compromise cannot be overemphasized in this instance, and we thus encourage the parties to approach the negotiation talks as such. South Africa stated this at the conference held in Switzerland last year, and we state it again today. Mr. President, while South Africa acknowledges that the resolution before this Assembly recognizes the centrality of the principles of the UN Charter and that it speaks to a cessation of hostilities, South Africa maintains that the current resolution does not go far enough in terms of inclusivity and creating a positive momentum towards a peaceful negotiation. South Africa reiterates the importance to make real and meaningful progress towards the peace rather than contribute towards further divisiveness. We have had resolutions similar to this over the last 3 years, yet the war continues. As members of the General Assembly, representing the international community, we should, through our words and actions, take actions that promote peace. If we continue doing what we have been doing and it doesn't reap positive results, then we should consider a different approach. We are at the point of inflection in this conflict, with the urgency to seize the momentum towards a negotiated settlement. There is currently an opportunity that is being presented to this Assembly to reflect on the approach to this particular conflict and perhaps take a different path towards peace. It is our view that the current text does not resonate with the renewed impetus towards a negotiated settlement. In conclusion, Mr. President, South Africa urges the parties to the conflict to begin to identify areas of common interest rather than to continue upon divergent ground. It is in this context that South Africa will abstain from this resolution as proposed by Ukraine. I thank you.